We've been walking for hours. We've got to quicken our pace. The Lich King is defenseless without us.
I left many of my warriors at Icecrown before I came to find you, Death Knight. They will hold the line for as long as they are able.
Tell me, where are all of your people? Shouldn't there be Nerubians around here, undead or otherwise?
I've been wondering about that myself. Something must have driven them all off.
We did, you rotting bastards! We've been watching you all along!
Muradin's dwarves. Impossible. Doesn't anyone stay dead anymore?
We've been wandering this forsaken land ever since you killed Muradin and left us to rot at us. Our leader, Baelgun, led us into the ruined city to survive. But there's no way we're letting you in.
We have no time for these games. Saphiron, attack! Well done, mighty Saphiron. I wish we could take you with us, but the confines of the Dark Earth are no place for you.
The Lich King's time is running short. We must hurry.
What is it now?
For Kazmatan!
Indubitably.
Speak, fool.
A pipe for every ghoul you blast!
Frostmourne hungers. Finally. This is more like it.
Set off the charges! Blow the bridge before they get across!
No! Stop them before they...
That was for Muradin. Now you'll never get across.
There are other passages through the labyrinth, Death Knight. We will find another way.
No one orders me around. Tread lightly. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last. Finally.
Our forces are under attack.
These Nerubians are your kin. Why are they hostile to us?
Many of us who fell during the War of the Spider were brought back to serve the Lich King. These warriors, however, never died. Foolishly, they still fight to liberate Naru from the Scourge.
Gold. We should take this with us. Finally. Finally. This is more like it. At last. This place looks like an old storage silo. It's a dead end, Nubarak.
There must be a hidden passage somewhere. We Nerubians were crafty engineers in our time.
hungers. For the Lich King, you will know endless torment. I'll make sure you suffer. At last.
This is an ancient Nerubian hoarding cell. We kept most of our treasures hidden in chambers like this. The passage to the lower depths lies just beyond this room.
Great. As long as we're here, we can take some of these items with us. At last. Frostmourne hungers. You will know endless torment. This is more like it. Faithless coward. Finally. Finally.
I serve only the frozen
No one
throne.
orders me around. More gold. This might help us later.
I'll see to it.
Tread lightly. Your pain shall be legendary. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. At last. I'll make sure you suffer. Frostmourne hungers.
Don't even try it, you bastard! That there treasure belongs to the dwarves!
This treasure belongs to the Lich King, little creature. We, his servants, shall take what we will.
This is for Meriden, you bastards!
Frostmourne hungers.
Our forces are under attack.
At last. Finally. For the Lich King. At last. This is more like it. Finally.
It's them! Blast them!
Now, Frostmourne. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. This is more like it. At last. Now, Frostmourne. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Finally.
Damned undead! Slay them all!
Frostmourne hungers. I'll make sure you suffer. At last. This is more like it. This is more like it. For the Lich King. Finally. At last.
Shoot anything that shuffles or skitters!
Your pain shall be legendary. Faithless coward.
Speak.
More gold. Take all you can carry. Frostmourne hungers. You will know endless torment. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. This is more like it.
I remember you, evil prince. You're the one that killed poor Muradin.
Get over it already.
I won't let you through this door, traitor. The recent quakes have awakened dark things under the ice. Ancient, horrid things. We vowed to keep them locked where they are.
We'll take our chances, dwarf. We're going through that door, one way or another.
Our forces are under attack.
Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. Finally. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers.
You will know endless torment.
Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last.
Faithless coward. Your pain shall be legendary.
Finally. This is more like it. What is it now? This is more like it. Speak, fool. What is it now? Finally. Ah, at last.
Speak.
No one orders me around.
Time is fleeting.
Tread lightly. Frostborn hungers. No one orders me around. Finally. Speak, fool. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Frostborn hungers. The air smells awful in here. Something doesn't feel right.
If the dwarf's story was true, there's no telling what awaits us in the darkness. This stairwell leads into the heart of the old Nerubian Empire. We must be cautious.
By all means. You first.
We have entered the old kingdom. Be wary, Death Knight. Whatever scared the dwarves still lurks down here somewhere.
What is it now? Frostmourne hungers.
Wait. The towers on either side are rigged to fire bolts of frost. This hallway is a death trap.
Can't we disable them?
The circular hatch in the far wall is an aqueduct plug. If we can open it, the water might flood the firing mechanisms and disable the entire trap.
Gold. We should take this with us. Finally. This is more like it.
I serve only the frozen throne.
Speak, fool. For the Lich King. Now, Frostborn. Your pain shall be legendary. Ah, at last. That's done it. Let's move. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Finally.
Look, brothers. The traitor king.
Who? Me?
He is referring to me, Death Knight. These Nerubians will stop at nothing to destroy us. Thank you, Great One. The rebel spiders captured my comrades as well. They're being held in a nearby chamber. Release them, and they will be yours to command.
At last. This is more like it. Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. Finally.
My might cannot be matched.
What is it now? This is more.
The Guardians are activating. Defend yourselves.
At last.
I have heard the summons.
Speak, fool. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. Finally. Tread lightly. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now?
Slay the intruders. My
Tread
might
lightly.
cannot be matched. Proceed.
No one orders me around.
I await.
Speak, fool. At last. What is it now? This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. I'll make sure you suffer. Faithless coward. You will know endless torment. For the Lich King. This is more like it. Now, Frostmourne.
Death to the servants of Ner'zhul.
Around.
The eggs of our young are incubated within those breeding pods. There's no telling how many vicious hatchlings they hold.
You were right. They're definitely hostile. We've got to destroy the breeding pods.
We could also seal the doors to shut the hatchlings in. Speak.
What is it now? At last.
Might cannot be matched.
No one orders me around. Now, Frostmourne. This is more like it. You will know endless torment. Frostmourne hungers. Faithless coward. For the Lich King. I'll make sure you suffer. Your pain shall be legendary. Faithless coward. Now, Frostmourne. At last. Finally. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. At last.
Drive the foul undead back to the surface.
This is more like it. Tread lightly. Frostborn hungers. Finally. Frostborn hungers. Speak, fool. I'll make sure you suffer. For the Lich King. At last. You will know endless torment. This is more like it. Finally. What the hell are they?
They are the horrors the dwarves spoke of. I thought they were only legends.
What?
They are the faceless ones.
Finally. At last. This is more like it.
Our forces are under attack.
What is it now? No one orders me around.
Make your choice.
Tread lightly. Finally. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers.
It cannot be. A forgotten one. Look to your defenses, Death Knights. Fight as you've never fought before.
Speak, fool. At last. No one orders me around. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. This is more like it. At last.
You ran for the Spider Kingdom.
Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers.
I await. By Nerub. I await.
No one orders me around. This is more like it.
Your choice. Yes, Master.
Now.
Forces
No
are
one
under
orders
attack.
me around. Tread lightly. Speak. What is it now?
We cannot take them all. Hurry, Death Knight! Up the stairwell! Hurry!
We're running out of time in Ubarak. How far are we from the exit?
Not far. We have entered the Upper Kingdom. The exit should lead us to the base of the glacier itself. However, there are still hidden traps and pitfalls to account for.
Take cover!
Arthas!
The entire passage collapsed. There's no time to dig through this. I'll have to move quickly and find my own way out. Hopefully Anubarak and the others survived. What is it now? Your pain shall be legendary. Frostmourne hungers.
Inventory is full.
I'll be singed if I get too close to those flames. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. I'll need this gold for when I reach the glacier. This is more like it. At last. More of the Nerubian's blasted mechanisms. I'll have to time this perfectly. Finally. This is more like it. You will know endless torment. Frostmourne, more gold. This might help us later. At last. Finally. This is more like it. Another quake? At last. Faithless coward. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Your pain shall be legendary. For the Lich King. At last. Finally. At last. Now, Frostmourne. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. I'll make sure you suffer. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. This is more like it. At last. Now, Frostmourne. This is more like it. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Finally.
Insufficient mana.
No one orders me around. At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Frostmourne hungers. I must find a way across this strange obstacle. This is more like it. At last. Finally. At last. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. This is more like it. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally.
You will know endless torment. Your pain shall be legendary.
At last. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. Finally. Frostmourne hungers.
I'll make sure you suffer.
At last. Finally.
Anubarak, you made it.
I see now why the Lich King chose you as his champion, Death Knight. Few men could have survived this labyrinth alone. Time is fleeting.
Speak, fool.
Frostmourne hungers. This is more
Another earthquake. We must hurry, Death Knight.
at last.
Something's breaking through. Defensive positions!
Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last. Frostmourne hungers.
We're running out of time. We must find the exit.
This is more like it. For the Lich King. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. At last.
They're blocking the way to the exit. We'll have to fight our way through them to reach it.
Tread lightly. Look at it now. Tread lightly.
I have heard
Speak,
the
fool.
summons.
At last. No one orders me around. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Finally.
Time is fleeting.
No one orders me around. This is more like it.
Now quickly, head through that door. The exit to the surface lies just beyond.
It'll be good to see the sun again.
Remember, Illidan and the true battle still await us in the world above. Hopefully our trek through the Dark Earth bought us the precious time we needed.